Hey everyone, welcome back to Immediate Movie Reactions. I'm here after watching The Wizard of the Kremlin. This is a Paul Dano starring film who plays a man whose name I don't know. After 2.5 hours of the movie, I don't remember what his name was. Jeffrey Wright is in this, one of the greatest actors of this generation, who is given basically nothing to do. Jude Law plays Putin in this, and he's in it, and he's fine. But some of my major issues that I had with this film surround him. So when I do this channel, when I do the reviews, I want to look at movies like a roller coaster, right? And I want the rises and the falls and the loops and the excitement and all of that. This movie is not a roller coaster. It's a beautifully, wonderfully made, consistent track that has some rises and very little lows. It runs super well. It looks great, but in the end, it's just not very interesting or exciting. Historically, I think pretty accurate, even though I think it skips over some very important parts as far as like the genocide and the invasion and the murders and all of that. It just kind of whitewashes all of that. And I think one of the major issues that I had with this film, Paul Dano, who is fine, he's good. He affects this voice that basically effectively puts you to sleep. And this film is narrative exposition with a little bit of an acted scene and then more narrative exposition. It is 2.5 hours long. Alicia Vikander is in this movie for, I'm not sure what reason, except to, otherwise it's just kind of a sausage fest, right? That she's basically the only female presence in this movie. And again, very, very little to do, very little character development. It's sort of the rise of Russia and then Putin's takeover. But like I said, they skip over so much of it. And the actors, even though they all do a serviceable job, there's such an inconsistency for it, as accurate as they were trying to be. There's such an inconsistency in the timeline and the accent that they use, because Jude Law basically sounds like Jude Law. He doesn't sound like Putin. You know, there are some facial things that he does that definitely are like, oh yeah, he's Putin. He doesn't sound like him. Doesn't even really feel very menacing through most of it. He's just kind of a dude sitting behind a desk. It didn't really hit for me. Coming out of this film, it was really tough. It was really tough for me to stay awake. Coming out of this film, people were talking about, I fell asleep twice, right? That's kind of where we are. If I go back to the beginnings of the channel when I would do see it, stream it, or skip it, this is a clear stream it movie. I think it's fine. It's a well-made, beautiful movie. However, it's just kind of boring, and it feels a lot like Oscar bait. And I think that if you are at home and you can watch an hour and go walk the dog or make dinner or whatever and sit down to watch the rest later, you're probably going to be better served. If you don't see this movie, you're not going to miss anything. I think that there are better movies out there. There are probably better historical movies to watch. This is just, I think it's fine. I'm going to give it a 7, and that feels maybe a little bit generous, but I think just because of the care and attention that they did put into a lot of this, it probably deserves this. And again, it is a beautifully made movie. It looks great, even though there was some weird inconsistencies. So you'll see Jude Law as Putin, and then it'll be clear digital film, right? And then it'll cut to this kind of 90s throwback where you'll actually see interspersed, composites of Putin himself. And that that's an actual film reel of Putin, or a bombing in Chechnya, or whatever. It just, the tone of it doesn't really, again, stay consistent or fit. Yeah, this movie is a 7. So let me know what you think if you did see it, and like, share, subscribe. I always forget that part. I appreciate you all. I will see you after the next movie.